5, 4, 3, 2.
Tier 1 performance.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tier 1 Performance. We are back with another guest on In and Out Talks, Miss Brittanee Fisher. Go ahead and tell us where you're from, your background, how'd you got involved in softball.
Yeah. So I'm from Billings, Montana, all the way up north, a good 1,300 miles from here. But I got started with softball through my parents, through my dad.
Okay.
He was a big sports guy when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, I did not think I was going to be into athletics. I was a big theater kid.
Oh, wow.
Music and theater was my thing up until maybe my freshman year of high school.
That's exciting.
And then that's when I got started into softball and being a little bit more sports-centric.
Okay, so tell us, where'd you go to high school? How was that experience for you? And then where'd you go to college?
I went to, where did I go? Senior high. Billings Senior High, one of the larger schools in the state. High school is okay. I wasn't a big fan of my high school program, but that is what that is.
Most people aren't.
Yeah, no. Definitely lean more on travel ball than I did high school for any sort of recruiting or enjoyment for that matter.
Right.
And then college, I went to Montana State University of Billings, which was awesome.
Okay. So explain to me the recruiting process.
For myself, recruiting was pretty difficult. You don't see a whole bunch of recruits come out of Montana in general, so that was the first issue that I had getting starting in my recruiting process. On top of that, I started relatively late. I don't think I started looking at schools until my sophomore year of high school, and that's like even just getting emails out and skills videos out to coaches by that time. So I started really late. I struggled a little bit, and initially, I didn't want to stay in state to go to school. The school that I went to is in my hometown. Had big aspirations to not be in my hometown, so that was really difficult to begin with, but obviously everything happens for a reason. So
Right. So, how did you go from, going to high school to being recruited by your hometown college? Did they come up to you? Did you reach out to them?
Yeah, so I was really fortunate. Had it not worked out the way it did, I don't think I would have played college softball, but my travel ball coach was the assistant coach for the college program at the time. So she got my foot through the door, and then as I started to communicate with the head coach, things started to fall into place after that.
So what position did you play, and what were your stats like in high school and throughout college? Or did you play different positions? I know it changes for a lot of people.
Primarily first base. I caught a little bit in high school, pitched, and then going into college, same sort of deal, pitching and first base. Fell off with the pitching about my junior year. Just because
high school?
college.
College.
Yeah. Just because I was needing in other places and I needed to be hitting in the lineup and focusing on one thing. Pitching's a hard deal.
Yes,
in and of itself,
I understand completely. It's related to batting, but at the same time, the complete opposite.
Yeah. So
mindsets are different for sure.
Definitely had to give up pitching, which is fine. I gained some great information and valuable skills from it, but stuck with hitting in first base. I ended my college career with, don't fact check me, somewhere around 320, 315, 311, I don't know, somewhere in that range, batting average, but I lead the school in home runs for a career. So
excellent. That's always nice to have. And what were y'all? Were y'all D1, D2,
D2?
D2. Okay.
D2.
Excellent. What was y'all's conference?
We were the GNAC, Great North GNAC. Great Northwest Athletic Conference.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. All right. How many schools were in it?
When I started my freshman year, I think we had 8, but we've dropped down to 7. Another school shut down due to funding issues. So they're at 7 schools right now within their conference.
Okay. And so now you are a coach.
Yes.
Okay, you are a coach. So wait, so what happened after your college career? I mean, I'm assuming college is the best years of your life. It is for most of us, right? So what happened after your season came to a close?
It was hard. I was ready for it, though. I've been coaching since I was a sophomore in high school, whether it was from, like, Little League, just volunteer coaching, getting volunteer hours or whatnot. But I've been working with kids since I was in high school. So I knew it was going to come down to coaching. I was excited for it.
So it's something you always wanted to do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's great, because most people, I feel like, especially coming out of college, for me, it's more like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like, I have a degree that's not related to baseball, and then I come into the real world, I'm like, do I get a job? Do I do this?
Yeah.
Do I do that? Do I go to coaching? I ended up going to coaching, which led to my own job, but... You know, I mean, a lot of people don't know, and they have a lot of people have a hard time transitioning from the athletic sports life into like regular everyday reality.
Yeah.
You know? And what was your experience like?
It was a struggle. I initially went to school to be a teacher, PE teacher, health and PE. Finished up my student teaching, my second to last semester of college, and decided absolutely not. I love working with kids. I love the aspect of it, but I mean, you know, education, it
is a tough
a tough field to be in.
It is a tough field
right now,
especially the pandemic didn't help and all that. Yeah, absolutely.
So education was not where I was going to end up, but coaching is a close enough comparison. I mean, it's the same thing, but like not in a classroom. So it was a good substitution.
Okay, so you're dealing with. I'm assuming I know you work at DBAT. This is how we know each other. We work at DBAT together. So when we go, when you're dealing with your students or your kids, you go from ages like what, 6 to high school, college, anywhere in between.
Yeah, anywhere in there.
Okay, so when you're dealing with your high schoolers, what do you think? Are things an aspiring softball player needs to have or to do in order to be a collegiate recruit?
I think initially you need to be realistic. As you know, I mean, you
have to be.
It's for everyone. I mean, I wanted to go D1 as a 8th grader from Billings, Montana, which is great. I probably could have. Not a realistic goal for me at that point in time. Like, the recruiting wasn't there. I didn't have enough resources that say these kids down here in Texas do. Like, it's a huge difference. So being realistic with your expectations, have those big goals, but also where can I fall back on? And, like, if I'm going to go to school here, am I going to be able to go to school here? And if I'm injured and can't play, like, is it still going to be an enjoyable time for me?
Right.
So I think being realistic is a huge part of it. I think also having a good work ethic and just enjoying the game. I remember watching another podcast with Patty Gasso in it. She was talking about what she looks for in her players. For those that don't know, she's the head coach of Oklahoma, 2-time national championship. I mean,
they went undefeated.
There's 3, right? Yeah. No, not undefeated. They had 1 loss.
They had 1 loss? Okay.
But, like, crazy. Yeah. Crazy program.
That World Series was
insane.
Ecstatic. It was ecstatic.
Insane. So, but she says when she's looking for athletes, she's looking for kids who, like, are enjoyable to watch. So that not only means you have the skill, but like
you love to be there.
Yeah, you're there because you want to be there. Not, oh well, mom paid $600 for me to enter into this tournament. Like, I guess I should go. So, just being somebody who wants to be here, who wants to work hard.
Okay, and then from a tools like analytical player aspect, what do you think kids need to have? Like, for example, there's like, you know, some swings have to be refined to a certain point. Some girls need to be this fast. Some girls need to be able to throw across the diamond. Like, what kind of physical attributes make a collegiate player?
I think getting in the weight room. I think especially with women, we struggle to get into the weight room to get better. There's a lot of image issues that we have in the sports world that, like,
societal norms
that
get in the way.
That can deter us from getting into the gym and getting stronger. So I'd start there. I see a lot of issues with my athletes in terms of injuries that are due to overuse or, like, just not being able to do something because they don't have the base.
They don't have a body to withstand the grind that they're going through. Okay, now that is a very good point because, you know, you see a bunch of kids that are stars in high school, and as soon as they touch college, remember, you're not going from you're not going from, like, big fish to another small pond. You're going from, like, big fish to a lake, if not the ocean, right? And you're playing with a bunch of 22, 23-year-olds, maybe, that are also, 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, but very few are 18-year-olds starting out playing your freshman year. And, like, as an upperclassman in college, I hated fall ball. It was just a grind. Like, we went from our season to summer ball to fall ball. And, like, fall ball, all the freshmen are all perked up and ready to challenge us big dogs. And we put them in their place tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then those freshmen realize, oh, this isn't a game. These are grown These are grown men, grown women
Yes.
playing, and all of a sudden they're like the little kid again. They're weak. They're not.
Yep.
They're not as strong, and they can't last. And you see them get injured all the time trying to compete with us, and why? It's because they don't take care of themselves.
Right. That's exactly.
They don't lift. They don't have the necessary strength and conditioning for their body, and their bodies are still growing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things I also talk about with my kids is like, you can't just develop the big strong muscles. You can't develop just your lats, your biceps, your triceps. It becomes these little muscles that play a factor in throwing and hitting and all that too. So I think that was a really good point in bringing that up, because a lot of people aren't prepared when they go in.
No.
Once so like you can make it if you even get the chance to make it, which is fantastic. You get to play the next level.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a good strong base and you aren't physically ready to compete with those guys, you're gonna get hurt. And a lot of people do get hurt. Red shirt, or their coach will be like, they're not ready.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, now I'm down a year.
Yeah.
And now, like, then the following year, it's a real tryout. So, what do you do now post college besides DBAT? Switching gears.
I mean, I'm more just trying to figure out myself. I mean, you know just as well as I do, we spend 15, 16, 17 years of our lives devoted to this one sport. Like,
yes, exactly.
My entire identity was Brittanee Fisher, the softball player. Like, there wasn't anything else that came after it.
No.
So, it's been really good to be separate from that. Working here is awesome. It gives me a little bit of flexibility. I can still stay connected to the game, but, like, if I decide to take a day off, it's not detrimental to the team like it would be if I took a day off of practice, right? So, it's been really cool to create a new identity, I guess, per se.
I guess like it's a whole nother path that you're on.
Yeah. It's
completely different. I mean, I know I fell into, after I stopped playing, you know, I had my run-ins with the Reds and the Phillies trying to get on, and it didn't really work out, you know. I fell into this deep, dark hole slump, and I was like, I don't know who I am. Like, I went from, like, you know, you went from the king or queen on campus.
Yep.
Top dog. Everyone kind of bend to you. Like, and you got royalty treatment. You know, money, clothes, whatever. Just the whole town worshipped you in a sense, you know. And then you come back home and you're like, well, you're out of college. Like, welcome to the real world. And then you're like, I don't have any experience. Because, you know, you don't have time to do internships. I don't have this, I don't have that. And like, and most importantly, we're broke.
Right. No, absolutely.
Majority of us are broke.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot of people think like, oh, in college you had it good. Maybe you did, maybe you did not. But we all start at the same point. And if you don't go pro with a big signing bonus, you're broke.
Yeah.
You're broke. And that was the biggest issue for me, was struggling to like, man, how do I make money? How do I get a job? No one's hiring. You know, where do I, it wasn't even the big issue. The big issue was like, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
What do I want to devote the rest of my 80-something year life?
To
doing that.
It's a daunting thought.
Yeah. And so where are you heading right now?
So as of right now, I'm going to finish up here at DBAT within the next couple months, and then I have a coaching position at my alma mater. Yes.
Exciting.
Very excited.
This is the college, not the high school.
College, yes, college.
Not the high school.
So I'm going to be a graduate assistant, going to go back, get my master's in psychology.
Because they're paying grad assistants now.
Yes.
As they should have from the get-go.
Yes.
That was the most outrageous thing, not to pay your grad assistant. Ridiculous for all the work that y'all do.
Oh my God, yeah.
One of my old teammates and roommates, one of my best friends, he's been a grad assistant for a couple of years now, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, y'all should be getting paid. Y'all should be getting paid. And he's like, I know, because all the stuff that they do for their collegiate team, they receive no funds for that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But now, don't worry, it's fixed.
Yes.
I'm not gonna harp on that. It's not the point of this podcast. But you're getting paid, and you're getting your master's paid for.
It should be. A portion of it.
But you're getting it.
Yeah, that's better than going in with nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what is your master's going to be?
It's going to be in psychology.
Psychology.
Yes.
Your undergrad was also in psychology.
My undergrad was education.
So now you're going in with an undergrad in education and a master's in psychology.
Yes.
That'll be very impressive. So what do you want to do with that?
So if this whole coaching thing doesn't work out, I would love to go into sports psychology. I feel it's a bigger thing than it was when I was younger. Like, sure. I could have heavily benefited from a sports psychologist all through high school.
Right.
So I learned a little bit more about that as I finished up my senior year of college, and decided if I were to go back to school and do it all over again, I would go that psychology route and see what I can do with that.
What kind of issues do you think sports psychologists or sports psychology needs to be addressed in today's collegiate world? Maybe even high school and professional.
Yeah. I think I think that sports in general need to be more person-based. That was a big struggle that I saw coming up through sports, is like, especially with my first 2 years of college, I had a coach that like treated us like we were only softball players. So like if we came to practice with other issues going on, didn't matter, which in a sense, like, you have to be adaptable, but it was to a point where like I was devalued as a person because I wasn't a person anymore.
Yeah.
Like if I sucked at softball that day, I just sucked in general.
Yeah.
Which
like your whole life's a failure.
Right, yeah, which is so hard, especially for girls. We're big thinkers. I can't speak on the male part, but for us, we think a lot and we value ourselves based off of what we can do for other people. So the fact that we can go into a practice and we have an off day where we're only be able to perform 30%, what does that say about us from that point on?
Right, and from the male's perspective, I think females do have a little bit harder in the sense that, change going from, an at-home environment that you're comfortable to a whole brand new campus, a different lifestyle, and then ultimately a different way of living and practicing is very difficult than compared to us men. But I don't think us men have it necessarily easier.
No.
I think it's just a little bit easier for us to adapt in the sense that, like, I know for me, when I went from being in Houston, Texas all the way to Rhode Island, it was a definite culture shock.
Oh, absolutely.
Like everything was flat and gridlocked here, and I can drive wherever I want. And then Rhode Island, places close at like 9. Like you can't go to the store at 9.
Yeah.
You can't go to a gas station, get a drink. You can't go to Whataburger, whatever. You are like locked in.
Yep.
There's no lights on the highways. Like it's crazy. Everything's up in hills and all that. And like everything that they did from Texas to me was just backwards.
Right.
It was a really big struggle. And I remember I ended up going to the wrong classes on my first day of school. And I got kicked out of like 3 classes. They got dropped because I didn't show up. So they're like, you get kicked out. And I had I think my first anxiety attack like that day. I was like, I got a call from my, your
advisor. Yeah.
I got a call from her and she's like, come see me in my office right now. And she's like, you skipped all your morning classes. Like, where were you? And I was like, I thought it was, in Texas they do it a different way. And then I was like, I thought I was going here, here, here. She goes, why would you do that? And I was like, because that's how. And then she got on, and then I kind of just freaked out. And I was like, well, what do you expect? No one's told me anything.
Right,
I literally walked onto campus. I didn't know where any of my classes were. It was stuff.
Yeah.
No one showed me anything. Like I was just told to figure it out. Like literally, our motto on the team was "figure it out." And so at that point, I had 2 options. I could either sink or swim.
Right.
And so I kind of had to have like a reality check. And then found out hey, if no one's gonna be there for me, I have to be there for myself. But in the sense that when it came to playing, like you're saying, and just when you go there, you're for baseball or you're for softball.
Yeah.
I don't think guys that were going through stuff, everyone knows teammates that have gone through stuff, and that it's affected them on the field. There was no really safe spot. There wasn't a professional to go and address these issues to. It was more like you either got to confide in a coach or a player. Or a friend or family who aren't equipped to deal with this because they can't put themselves in the same situation.
Not.
And I think that needs to be addressed. And I'm glad you're going and doing that for future generations because I think also me and you as our age group and our generation is in that in between generation between people who are really diving into the psychological and emotional aspect of sports and life in general, whereas the generations before us were like, you're soft.
Yeah.
Suck
it up.
If
you gotta be better.
If you complain, you are a wimp, or for lack of a better word, a cat.
Yeah.
You gotta be tough. You're not wanting it. You're just being sorry. But maybe that's not always the issue. Now, I do think I have realized and witnessed people that are just that high-minded as an excuse.
Yes, absolutely.
That's kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today. Is what's the difference between taking care of your mental health and not using it as an excuse to hide behind, taking the easy way out. Because there's people that do both. There's people that absolutely need it, and those guys, and then there's people that throw shade and, try to hide behind it as an excuse to not give it or to be lazy.
Yeah.
And it hinders the people that actually need help.
Absolutely. No. And I mean, my viewpoint is if people are using it as an excuse, there's something there that they need to figure out. Now, where I struggle with those types of people is they're not going to find help. They're saying, I need help, but then they're sitting there and not doing anything about it. There's a difference between being lazy and needing the help and going to find the help that you need. Like, you need to surround yourself around people who are going to say, okay, I hear you, you're valid, what can we do to help fix it out? Like, my college coach the last 3 years was awesome at that. I struggled my senior year of college was like my easiest and my most difficult. I had student teaching the first semester, fall season, brutal. Absolutely horrendous.
Really?
Like, I'd spend 8 hours a day in a high school teaching kids, get done there, and like drive all the way to practice, be there in my practice clothes, and go for another 3 hours.
That's 12 hours.
Yeah, 12-hour shift on top of having to grade pay. Like, again, teachers, I love you so much. You guys, you make the world go round. Not enough appreciation for you guys. But like, I'm doing all this, I'm being the student, and then I'm grading papers. I have to email other teachers in the school. Like, I have all these responsibilities of a teacher, coming in, going to practice, being a leader on the field while I'm still trying to figure out what went on throughout the day. Like, it was daunting, a lot. And then my second semester, I took one online class and just like chilled because I was a senior. So that first semester, my coach was super awesome about making sure that my needs were met, even if I wasn't going to like tell her about it, because I'm a quiet person in general. I'm not going to tell people if I'm struggling or not. So she did a really good job of like checking in, making sure, hey, if you need this, XYZ, here's our game plan, go ahead, take care of it. So I think you need to be surrounded by people who are going to hold you accountable, and I think that's part of it. Your mental health is just as important as how much you're lifting in the off season or how many reps you're taking after practice. It needs to be combined with the other aspects of the sport, and I don't think that has been the case for the past 10, 15 years.
So what advice would you give to incoming female or male athletes going in that, like, you know, obviously they know they kind of struggle internally. They may not necessarily recognize that they have that they need to take care of their mental health, but
Right.
what kind of advice would you give for people to make sure that their mental health is on point throughout their collegiate season, people going into college?
I'd say that they need to like have a little checkpoint list for themselves. It takes a little bit of internal reflection that you need to find for yourself. If you start to put some things down and dots aren't connecting, that's when I think you need to be able to reach out, find your resources on campus. That's the great thing about these college campuses is a lot of them have resources. We just don't tend to know about them as much because we're not involved in the general population.
Okay.
Like, we had a sports psychologist and a regular psychologist on campus every day of the week, weekdays. I didn't know about that till I was the year after the COVID year. Like, and that was a resource for all 5 years of my college career. Didn't know about it until the last 3. So, I mean, it requires a little bit of digging on your part. And if you don't know where to look, ask the people involved. Ask your coaches. Ask the athletic director. Go to your advisor. Say, hey, what are the resources on campus for mental health? And do a little research yourself. And I do that before school starts because once you're in school, you're already doing research for everything else. You're not going to want to go and search out who's going to be able to help me right now. So look at those things even while you're applying to college. What resources does your school have for mental health in terms of athletic help or general mental health stuff?
All right, those are very good. Those are very good tips. Very good things to do. I wish I probably would have utilized those a little bit more. Definitely could have used it more towards my second half of my collegiate career. But I think that needs to be spoken across all platforms to everyone because you never really know what someone's going through.
Exactly.
But backtracking a little bit back to the recruiting process, what do you think is the best avenue for someone to get recruited, like to get noticed? Like, how do they get their name out there? You know, is it just going to camps? Is it going to social media? What's the best route?
I mean, it's changed significantly since we've applied or gone to college. I mean, for me, it was send out your skills video to everybody and anybody who's willing to take it. Nowadays, we see kids making their own Twitter accounts or their own Instagram accounts where they just post game
Highlights,
film, practice film, just a whole bunch of stuff. I think you need to be annoying. I think that's the collective thing that I can grab from
at least
the
in the
past
softball
15
round?
years. Yeah,
Okay.
being annoying. email coaches consistently. Tag them in Instagram posts. Tag them in your Twitter posts.
Not just post them, tag them. It has to be directed at someone.
Get it to them.
It's know who you want to go to, right?
Right. It's a lot harder to ignore somebody if they're on your notification. Like, we see that anyways in our phones. Mom calls you 15 different times. Probably you should take a look at that. Same thing with a college coach. If you're emailing and getting your voice out to these coaches consistently, it's going to be a lot easier to be picked up. Okay. On top of that, I think camps tend to be a little bit more beneficial than going to these big college tournaments. I know travel ball tournaments, sorry. Yeah. I know there's a big, huge Triple Crown tournament in Colorado around the 4th of July, Sparkler. Everybody and their mom wants to go to that tournament. It's a fun tournament. It's a good time. But the college coaches that are going there recruiting, 9 times out of 10 are not looking for new recruits. They're looking at the people that they've already spoken to. So you have to weigh your options. Am I going to spend thousands of dollars to go to this tournament where
may or may not?
Yeah, it's not worth it. Now, if you find a tournament where it's specifically for recruiting, like I went to one in Kansas my junior year of high school. Best experience I ever had. I got into contact with 2 coaches and ended up getting offers from the same 2 coaches from this one tournament. So it's worth it to look into what tournaments are going to be more beneficial versus your big name Triple Crown tournaments.
Okay, that's actually a lot different than baseball.
Really?
Yeah, so baseball, I mean, it's just so flooded with people that, I can't speak on softball because I'm not in the softball realm, but for baseball players, like, everyone's playing select or travel ball.
Right.
Everyone's going to play tournaments, and, the people will just call the tournaments, like, select, college recruiting premier game, premier tournament, whatever. Yeah. And, there'll be, like, 30 teams enter that tournament, and maybe the tournament itself will pay 3 college coaches just to be there. Just to be there, not even to, like, go out and recruit people, but just to be there. And so you're not seeing that much exposure. Now, I'm not saying that college coaches don't go out and recruit at tournaments. They do, but I'm saying majority of the kids, especially in Texas or around the South, don't make it to those tournaments, or not. They're usually invite only. Yeah. And there's a lot of players out there. There's a whole variety range of talent.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yes.
I mean, there's people that think, like, yeah, maybe they'll come to this tournament, or I think I saw that scout. No, for me in baseball, it is pretty obvious when there's a scout in the stands. It is not like that could be a dad, it could be a scout. No, you see the South Carolina logo on his shirt. Yeah, you see it. That's him. It's very different, but that's a good unique thing. I think more people need to realize what path they need to take to get recruited versus just falling into the norm and being like, this is how I got recruited, 25 years ago. Right. Let me mail them a letter. No. Or let's just go play all these tournaments and, like, they'll find you if you're good enough. To an extent, that's true, but you can be good and they still not find you.
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, that is crazy how fast both games are evolving.
Oh yeah.
Softball.
It's crazy.
I've seen some people. I've practiced next to some girls that I swear to God hit the ball just as hard as me.
Oh my God, yeah.
Frightening.
Yeah, it's terrible. Watching some of these kids that are coming in here working with other instructors, I'm like, you're 12 and you, like, what? Exactly. Why are you doing this right? Like, it's insane.
The game is evolving beyond.
Yes, it's crazy.
But Brittanee, it was a pleasure to have you on. Thank you. We are going to do this again, hopefully when you come back from Montana.
Absolutely.
Best of luck in Montana and getting your master's, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.